And ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Shop Talk, YouTube's premier off the clock appliance repair talk for off the clock appliance repair techs. I'm your host with the most, Brother B, and you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'd like to bring to you one of our VIP. No, he's not a guest. Well, I'm disrespectful. Hold on. I came to bring you one of our own co-anchors that has been MIA for a year. We're gonna definitely put some steam on him and interview him and ask him what the hell happened and where did you go? But before that, let's just get into some quick news. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, please hit the share button. Please go over to tmmacademics.com to get virtual training weekly, to be enrolled in our Voxer peer-to-peer group. Shout out to everybody in that. And also be part of our Patreon program. Please, again, go over to tmmacademics.com. I'd also like I'd like to send a special shout out to my brother, Rick Zilka. That's the MVP of this. Thank you, bro, for holding down the fort. With all that out the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to you tonight's guest. He's came back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to go back to Shop Talk episode 3, I believe, or 6. It was 3 or 6, one of those two. I want you to go back, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to see this young man that I interviewed. I made a challenge that night. I said, if it hits 50 likes, I'll bring this brother back. Ladies and gentlemen, I went on there yesterday today actually, before brother D came on, just to see, man, I wonder what our challenge did. It currently stands at 164. So we tripled the request. That means that the streets want him back. And I'm here to deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody that I look up to, okay? Long Island's #1 premier, YouTube's premier co-anchor of TMM Appliance Network, Brother David Oliva from Long Island. David, welcome back, bro. Where the hell you been?
Oh man, how you doing, man? I'm happy to be back. It's been a while. It's been the most eventful year in my life, both good and bad, you know. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk to you about it. I miss participating in this. It's been a really cool thing to be involved in TMM, but you know, I had some stuff I had to take care of, but here we are tonight. And, you know, let's talk about it.
Talk about it. David, I just want to say, man, listen, man, we miss you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, please, in the comment section, feel free to beat up Brother David. Put pressure on him. Let him know, hey, man, we miss you. I mean, the guy started on a tangent. He was giving us A1 business training. I mean, this guy's somebody. This guy talks at the ASTI. This guy books out conference rooms. You know, this guy's a somebody. And this guy gives up his time to come on here and give us training. Let's beat him up so we could keep having him back on here. And again, David, I'm glad you're back, man. I miss you, man. What the hell happened with COVID? What happened? Let's start with that.
What happened? All right. So, I mean, this is a long story.
We got time. Talk about it.
All right. So, everything was good. January, February last year, we're good. And then, you know, COVID, right? Mm-hmm. So we had a couple guys that, well, my father and one of our techs, they had some, you know, health concerns, age, lung issues, things like that. So we can't be out on the road, which of course, you know, we don't want them, we don't want people risking their health. So they had to step back for a minute. So we just had me and one other tech that was still on with us. But come mid-March, I mean, it was dead. Nobody called. That hadn't happened in ever. You know, we 60 years. That's never happened. Nobody called for like 2 weeks straight. It was scary, but then it started picking up a little bit. So I had laid everybody else off, for a little while just to see what's going to happen. They were able to collect unemployment, all that.
Real quick, you say lay everybody off. Do you mind sharing the total amount of people that is?
Well,
how many
at the time we had 5 people in the company.
Five people.
Yes, that was at that time. It was 5 people, and just everybody. I mean, including myself. We did nothing. We shut down for 2 weeks because nobody was calling. This was at the beginning. Nobody was really sure what was happening. So I was like, all right, nobody's calling. I'm not going to go out for 1 or 2 jobs. We don't know what's going on. So we shut down for 2 weeks. But, after that sort of period at the beginning when everybody was sort of freaking out, the calls started to come back in. So I went back out. And Alexis, our office manager, she went back on the phones. And I was doing all the calls by myself. And initially it was, it was a little bit, it was trickling in. But then all of a sudden, like somebody turned on a switch, it was like an avalanche. And it was busier than it's ever been. So it went 180 degrees from where we were. We were slower than we've ever been to busier than we've ever been. But now my problem was nobody was able to come back into work. So I had to do all the calls myself on top of handling all of the business. One of our techs, he agreed, he said he was good to come back in after another week or so. So he came back in, he stayed around about a week, and then he quit. So we're at the busiest time. He quit. Yeah. So
and this is right around the time that I got the most unfortunate text ever.
And that's what happened.
And they read something like this. Hey, bro, I'm sorry, but I have to lay low for a little bit. This is what's going on with my business. I got to get things in order. I said to you, Godspeed, bro, but please come back. And after a year now, it's good to have you back, but you're not done giving your speech.
Oh, so no, that's just the beginning.
This is the tip of the iceberg. So continue. Now you get this avalanche of calls, and it's like the switch went on, as you were saying.
So I mean, yeah, it was just crazy busy. So, we were handling it a little bit, but, I can only do so much as one person, right? On top of dealing with all the business stuff.
Did you have Alexis?
Yeah, and Alexis, she was doing phones, yeah, and running the office. So we said, all right, well, we got to hire some more people. So we put out some job ads. We had a guy, a bunch of people come in, most of them clowns. You know how that goes. But we had a couple of good people, so I had to choose between some. I found a really good guy, sharp guy, really into it. I had to train him, though. He wasn't experienced, but he picked it up really quick. He rode around with me for about 2 months. And I said, look, at this point, normally we would do more training. We would go more in depth, but we got to get some stuff done. So we put him out on the road, and he is killing it. He's just at this point, he's been with us about a year now, and it's amazing.
What was his background?
He was internet and cable engineer. So he was working for a cable provider who laid him off because they were closing their stuff down too. And so he was looking for something else, and he wanted to get back out in the field. He used to be a cable tech. They moved him to engineer, and then they laid him off, but he wanted to go back out in the field. So he thought this was a good fit. Turns out he was a really good hire. He's still with us, but that wasn't enough. So we needed more people. So put out another job ad, found a really good experienced tech. He was working for Samsung, or Samsung authorized company. So all he knew was Samsung, but he was a technician. So that was good. So he came over with us.
But wait. Samsung, brother, I'm sorry. Samsung, but everything, or Samsung washer dryer, or
everything.
Cook.
They're full line of appliances, including televisions. That's what he was doing. We don't do television.
Including seal system?
Yep, including seal system.
That's a gem.
So we offered him, a lot of money, a lot more than he was making, plus benefits. He immediately came over. He's still with us. Excellent guy. Turns out his son,
good,
for the same company. We got him over too. So
good.
We got those 3 guys, and then we're back out on the road. So that's where we're at as far as techs today. We got 4 techs back out on the road now, including me. We hired someone else in our office, and now we got 3 people in the office. My father's working in the office also. He's doing the parts. We got Alexis on the phones, and we have another person working on the phone. So we got 2 CSRs now. And that's sort of the role of the business. So now everything is going really well business-wise. we are hiring another tech for our current location, and we are in the works for opening up a second location north of the city. So up in Westchester County, Fairfield County, Connecticut. That's already in the works. So we need a technician for that. So if anybody's in that area that has experience.
What's the area?
Westchester County, Fairfield County. The office is going to be in Westchester County. And we're going to have and this is no Google Maps gimmick where there's a bunch of fake. This is a real office we're going to have there. No?
David, the good thing is, bro, I done put 4 years into building authenticity. At this point, they know there's nothing fugazi about this operation.
Nope.
So tell me, so you got 3 techs, 2 CS, you primarily, what's your role in the organization?
So we're at, including myself,
we're at the owner.
Yeah, well, and so including myself, we're at 7 employees total. So the business is a corporation, so I'm also an employee of the corporation. So we're at 7. We have it, we have it set up. So I still run service calls, but I've stepped back a bit to focus on running the business, growing the business. What I've been doing primarily as far as service calls is some of the ultra high end stuff like the LeConte ranges, the La Cornue ranges. They're really high end stuff. And by today, we started training our first hire for March on that ultra premium stuff because he's got the right personality for it. I want him to take over that stuff so I can focus on just running the business. Yeah, so that's where we're at, and then a bunch of personal stuff. That.
And what gave you may I ask you a question on a whole nother thing about what you said previously? What gave you the desire or intent to want to move to that particular area?
Well, so a couple of things. It was always our plan to grow the business to be much larger than it is now. And ironically, the business collapsing in March was actually the best thing that ever happened to us. It was a really difficult thing to deal with, but prior to that, everything was, it was working, but it was sort of a patchwork of ideas and policies and systems that we sort of like building a house one room at a time. You add this on, you add that on, and it works, but it's not ideal. So literally everything fell apart. But from there, we had to build it back. But we built it back in a holistic way. So now everything is integrated. Everything works well together. All the systems work well together. It's all much smoother and it's working much better than it was before. And that allowed us to take these systems that we have set up here and basically plug them in a new location. So last year, a secondary area was not really on our radar. But now that we had to build this back with integrated holistic systems, it's almost, it's sort of like a franchise style thing where everything is already set up. We just have to take it here and put it there. Now we need the people. That's a hard thing to figure out, but we don't need the systems. We already got that. So we just put those systems in place there. And if we can find the right people, we're good to go.
Oh, we're gonna get into systems.
Systems, my favorite topic. Systems. I love systems.
Oh no! You don't get it. I got a speech about that, but let's not go there yet. Oh man, I got enlightened, man. But we'll talk about it.
All right.
I want to stick to your journey. I want to stick to your whole COVID process. Okay, so COVID came. You shut down. How long was the shutdown before the switch flipped?
It wasn't long. It was a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
It was dead for a couple of weeks, but after that, it was just.
But define a couple of weeks, a month,
2 weeks, literally a couple of weeks, 2 weeks. That's it. We shut down for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then we went back in full force.
What are you doing during that time?
What am I doing? I don't know if I could. So what am I doing? I'm just hanging out on the couch and not doing much, but thinking about stuff. We were originally planning to go into Manhattan, so I started putting that together. Turns out, though, a lot of our customer base, they left Manhattan. They went out to the Hamptons. They went up to Westchester County, So the Manhattan thing is on the back burner because the people with money, the clientele we're looking for, they left. They're gone. You know, why are you going to stay in Manhattan? You can't go to a restaurant. There's riots. You know, who's staying there? They all left. So we're going where they are.
Good for you, baby. Good for you. Okay, so you're off 2 weeks. You're doing some planning, I'm assuming, right? You're re-strategizing things. But you have no idea that this avalanche is about to begin.
Oh no, totally unexpected. It's not just. I mean, it's not just me. Everybody I know had the same experience, because now literally everyone is at home, working from home or not working at all, using all of their stuff that they never use, washing 3 loads of laundry a day instead of 1, cooking every night. You know, so everything's breaking. And all across the country. I mean, I'm sure you had the same experience. Literally everyone I know was busier than it'd ever been. It's incredible.
Now let's move into well, let's spin a little bit now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tonight the conversation is going all over the place.
Well,
but I have so many things I want to talk to you about. David, man, bro, and boy, is tonight a good one. David, since you left, man, you remember the last time you and I spoke, you was telling me about the E-Myth, right? Remember you was telling me about that?
Yeah. Okay.
And bro, I read it.
Yes. Oh, you did. I saw the videos you did. Yes.
Bro.
That's an excellent book, right? Is that not the best book you ever read about business?
Come on, we're gonna talk about it. I got a speech about that.
Yes.
You came to my mind, because let me tell you what happened with me. At that time, I was in my glory too. I had my CSR, my 2 techs, and then, man, things fell apart.
Yep.
For like, same thing, like, I would say like a few weeks, same thing.
Yeah.
And then slowly, mine wasn't a light switch though. Mine was like slowly, and then back to normal, and then like just fully operational. But I felt like something was missing, man. Like you ever feel like you want to just professionalize yourself more than you think you are? Like, man, I know that there's more out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, bro, that you was telling me about that. Not just you, but other people. It was the beginning of the year, and I was like, all right, it's time for me to, read a new book, la 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 la. I'm gonna make that the #1 priority. But bro, when I opened that up and I got into that,
like right away, like immediately, you're like, how come I haven't read this before? It's crazy.
So listen. Now I'm in this rabbit hole of like how I was doing things wrong, what's wrong with me, this and that. Like it's like an overwhelming consumption. Like I watched all this guy's videos. I even did a reaction video to one of his interviews, Michael Gerber, right? Man, listen, I want to talk about the 3 roles of the entrepreneur. And I want you to elaborate on.
Okay.
The technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. David, you said something earlier today. You said to me, Brother B, my operation is functional. It's ready to go from point A to point B. That reminds me much like the post office, KFC, McDonald's, the US military. It doesn't really matter what station they put you in, what branch they put you in. A Taco Bell is going to feel and look and smell like a Taco Bell in all 50 states.
Yep.
And you know how that comes about?
Systems. Systems.
Then listen, they remove ego. They remove know-it-alls and all that. You know why? Because when you have data, try and you prove and you test these systems against static friction, and you write it down and you integrate that culture where everybody is believing into your systems, I'm right now currently in like the second phase of that with what I got going on. Please tell me how's it working for you, and tell me if I'm even making
No,
sense.
you're making
If I'm
perfect sense.
crazy out of my mind, please,
So
David.
when I read
Am I
that
out
book,
of my head or what, David?
no, you're making perfect sense, and I'm glad you're doing it because it's like a life-changing thing, right? Because you're stuck at that technician part, right? Because that's what we do, man. We fix stuff, we go in, we do that's what we do. But you can't just do that because if you want to, I mean, if you want to just be a technician, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to grow your business, you can't just be a technician. So, I mean, this is something that was always sort of part of my personality is to just, to document things, to write things down and make lists and organize things. That's just how I am. So when I read that book, it sort of clicked like, oh, I already know how to do this. So I just got to do it, So you put these things together, write down all those processes, say everything I do. That's what we started doing. Me and Alexis, we started just writing down every single thing we do, every little task, no matter how small. This, okay, on Tuesdays we do this, and on Fridays we do this, and then if we want to order parts, these are the steps we take to order parts. We got to submit a warranty claim. These are the steps we have to. So I mean, every single little thing we do, write it down, document it, put it into a file somewhere. Just so now at this point, we're not done. We're not even close to done. But the core processes, the core things that we have to do, that's all documented. So now we take this book and we give it to our new CSR. We give her some training on it, of course. This is how you do things and, oversee and correct things. But she has all that information. She doesn't have to ask us a question. It's right there. It's in the book. She knows exactly what to do. And that's, I mean, in my opinion, what the hell do I know? That's how you scale things. And I think that's what large companies do. And people who are successful in growing the business and going to multiple locations in any kind of business, that's what you have to do. And, that's what we're doing. That's what you're doing. So
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Did you find that when I read that book, I made it only up to chapter 6 in the physical hard copy. I have it in the room.
yeah, I got mine.
I don't even want to listen. I made it up to number 6. I couldn't make it through before I started already like, oh hell, I already see it.
Immediately.
As soon as I read like the first few, I kept telling myself, if you don't respect this and listen to it until the end, you're gonna crash and burn. Give it its respect and hear it to the end. But at chapter 6, I put the physical down, and just to show respect to the author and really get the full gist of the book, I just started audio booking it. I'm doing a sealed system, audiobook. It was to the point that I already knew the words before the narrator of the audiobook was saying them. But the physical hard copy at 6, I put it down and I began, like you said, systems. And David, I want to go back to something you said. Oh man, you said I wrote it down, every little thing, ordering parts. You know how simple that sounds? You know how
not simple. Yeah.
wait, for me. You know how effortless that is to simply roll off your tongue? How to order parts, PDF.
Yep.
Hell no, that's hard as shit.
It's like 100 steps.
100. Number 1, receive part number from technician. Drop down arrow. Right. Part from technician. Input into local part distributors, Marcone and Compass, Reliable, whoever your area is. Search database for cheapest part. Enter customers info. Drop ship to customer. Like copy order confirmation. Put to CSR platform. You know how much that entails? And then look, you don't just do that for that.
Nope.
You do that for answering the phone, dispatching the technician arriving. Everybody got a role and a job to play. And when you have the systems in place, everybody got to follow suit. And you know what? When there's a failure, you can always trace back to the systems to see where they went wrong.
Right. And that,
you got to recall. Let me finish this one thing, big homie, and then the floor is yours. You got to recall. Okay, I get them all the time, but let's analyze yours. What happened? Oh, the color. Oh, really? I don't see here where it says call for tech support. I don't see here where it says document test shown. Like, I don't see on the notes where you did. So now you can hold people responsible.
Yep.
Because they're not following the system. And then now they can't maneuver and say, oh, well, I don't do it like the other technician. Because one technician will give you good notes, one will give you half-fast notes. And shout out to all technicians worldwide. It's just some people do things one way and some people do things the other. But when you put things in black and white, they're like, yo, look, this is how it is. Respectfully, that is, love, peace, and harmony. But this is how it is. In order for the company to succeed and to go forward in this cog, these little intricacies make it all work. So we all got to put model number, notes, what tests were done, what parts were ordered, from who, and what the follow-up was told to the customer. To each his own, his or her business practice. But David, the point I'm trying to drive home is you say that, oh, just order some parts. But please, now the floor is yours. How difficult was it to do your entire organization from answering the call to collecting the invoice at the end and everything in between?
Well, I mean, this is something, how difficult. This is something we started, I mean, even before last year, we started doing stuff like that. And we're not done. So it's extraordinarily difficult. Because like you said, oh, all right, just order parts. Yeah, well, when you describe in detail how you order parts, that's a big process. He's gonna know who it is when I say it. I had a flow chart of all the different ways to order parts. If this, then do this. And it wasn't order parts; it was checking in parts. From POs and stuff, whatever. So he goes, "Oh man, that's a lot of steps." I'm like, "Yeah, well, because it's got all the little detail." I remember when I was a kid, I saw something, probably in school, where you're supposed to write instructions for making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? And so maybe it was a little video teacher showed us. I don't remember exactly, but the example was the kid said, "Oh, well, that's easy. You just you put the peanut butter on the bread and you put the jelly on the bread and you put the sandwich together." Okay, but you got to open the jar. You got to spread the peanut butter evenly. So something that sounds as simple as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, there's like 40 steps to it if you break it down. But the point of breaking it down is there's no room for error. And it's not that you need to be strict about you have to do it exactly this way to employees, but you need to have some sort of guideline, some sort of frame of reference. So there's really no question about what what needs to be done. The important points, there needs to be flexibility. I don't think you can be rigid in telling people you have to do it exactly this way, but you need that guideline. You need a reference for people who don't know how to do it, or they forget how to do it, or something you don't do frequently. You need that reference without being super strict and overbearing and on employees. But to have that is really important,
I think I want to expand on that. I don't think with me it's about being super rigid. It's about, listen, in order for the prosperity of this organization to move forward, you got to put the model number, champ.
Oh, well, I mean,
look, and you got to take pictures of the unit. And like these certain things, and here's why. Because when I'm in front of my desk and I'm ordering parts and I'm reading your notes saying dryer not heating, needs water pump, I'm gonna stop and I'm not ordering a water pump. I'm gonna get on the phone and call you and say, what's this about? And you're gonna tell me, oh no, I mixed up notes and this and whatever. But my point is the importance of me being kind of rigid and meticulous is that in order for the success of this operation, of this organization to move forward, we all gotta be in sync with the cog, like the Rolex watch.
Mm-hmm.
You notice how all of them work in harmony?
Yeah.
It ain't one over here, one cog over here saying, man, I like to take off on Fridays, or it won't work. The watch won't work. And look, it begins with the culture, man. And like you had told me earlier, David, in our last video, you told me, look, you build and you scale this thing up to where you elevate yourself in position. At first, you may be the one-man person, operator, tech, entrepreneur, everything, all in one. But you know what? You realize you need help. You're in the infancy. You need help. Now you bring in on people. But these people gotta understand the way that things work. But how can they interpret how you want your business done if you don't give them the tools to succeed?
I think
Explain, Dave.
I think you hit a good point when you said you explain why. And I think the explaining why is really important. Because if you just say you got to do it this way and they don't know why, like this guy's crazy. I don't want to work for this guy. He's a lunatic. But if you explain why, then it makes sense. It's like, oh, okay. Now I see. Because, if you explain why you need a picture of that data tag, because now when I go to submit that warranty claim and the model number is wrong and I don't have a photo, nobody's getting paid, including you, the technician. So if you explain why, it makes it a lot easier to get people to go along with things. And I'll add to that, explain why, and also tell them if it doesn't get done, you're not getting commission on that job. So that also plays a certain part in making it happen. And when we started doing that, when we said, all right, look, here's the deal. You got to do this, you got to do this, and you got to do this. I'm flexible, like I said, but certain things absolutely have to be done. And at the end of the week, when we're reviewing everything, if these particular points are not in place, you're not getting paid for that job. And it stopped immediately. And everybody did what they were supposed to do. So, money is always the motivator. But the why is also important so you don't, it doesn't come off the wrong way, I think.
Listen, man, it's when you read that book, in my book review, I said, if you got like if you don't have thick skin, you're gonna be highly offended, because that book points out your flaws right away.
Absolutely.
It's like a mirror that's hold it up to your face, and like you ain't shower, you didn't shave, you smell bummy, and you out here trying to meet and mingle, and like the mirror's like, player, you're falling apart. That book told me, player, you're falling apart.
Well, we talked about this. We talked about this a while ago. Anything, and I don't think we both agreed on it. Anything that's wrong in your business is your fault. It's not your lazy employee's fault. It's your fault for having a lazy employee. It's your fault. It's all your fault. I mean, that's the only way to look at it. And if you do it that way, there's no one else to blame. Shit, I just got to fix it, and then hopefully you do. And if you don't, I guess,
and you know what I like too about that, when you're referring to the systems, not only does it have accountability, not only does it create seamlessness. Oh, remind me what holistic is. We'll talk about that later. You made mention of that holistic. You tell me about holistic.
Everything
real quick. You told me about holistic. I'm thinking about some other types of holistics.
Well, that's true.
Listen.
Everything.
But listen, let me finish one thing. Wait, real quick. Go ahead.
No, everything is integrated. It's all part of a whole. It's not A is disconnected from B. A and B work together, and if you want to bring in C, they're all integrated and they're all intertwined. Holistic just means like stepping back and taking a look at the whole, and seeing how all of those individual components work together and link together and integrate. But you're viewing it, sort of further back instead of looking at one piece at a time without seeing how those things connect. So holistic looks at everything all at once.
Okay. I thought something else. But I'm not as smart
Maybe
as you,
I'm wrong.
David.
I'm not I'm not a philosophy major. I'm not a.
No, David. You're somebody. Let's stop, okay? You're somebody, David. Listen, let me go back to systems, and
Okay.
and why I'm such a big proponent of them. So listen, they eliminate ego.
Hmm.
You may have one tech that you get, right? And he says, listen, man, I've been doing this 30 years. I don't take pictures, or whatever his thing is, because he's a big shot. And look, any company I go work with, I always told my manager, we may not have space for you here, player. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Respectfully, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So if what the system, but you have to follow it too. That's what I've learned.
Absolutely.
As the authority
Which
head,
which
you
is
said
hard to do sometimes.
it is, man. But you know what though? When you begin to see the benefit of it,
Mm-hmm. Oh
you
yeah.
just want to keep fine tuning it and fine tuning it and fine tuning it.
Can I just make a point on that, on what you just said about accountability?
Please.
So on the flip side of accountability, if you develop a system and all of the employees are following that system and something goes wrong, but they have followed the system, they have that sort of security knowing I did what you told me to do. And so now it's back on you. It's back on me. I
I'll
made
take
this
it.
system and it doesn't work right. So now I got to fix that system without blaming somebody else because they did what I told them to do.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's why I say you gotta be not just talk the talk, but walk the walk.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, ultimately, we're all here, for a certain reason. We like what we do. I like this business, but we want to make money, right? So we want to make money. We got to do it the right way. And like you said, you take ego out of that. Yeah, I mean, we'll sit here and we'll bullshit, and we we both got a little bit of ego, but ultimately, like you said, you got to let that go because we want it to work. And if I messed up, hey, I messed up. Let's fix it. Let's go. Let's go. So.
Wow. Okay, so I'll tell you another thing about the E-Myth. It it made me, David, understand other aspects like of my weaknesses, like HR. I had a guest in one of my previous podcasts. We was talking about HR forms, um, immigration papers, like they call I-9s, for like to show that your employees are all American, sexual harassment policy, uh all the equal opportunity, all the stuff that you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
I found a company, bro, for
Yeah.
$99 a month
Okay.
called Bambi. I'm gonna put the link on there, and it's a personal HR,
Okay.
and they work with you, and they create your manuals, organizational manual,
Mm.
all the policies. It's a general template, and they just take out words from certain companies and plug in yours. But my point is, it's just about like you, bro. You a major influence in my beginning stages, and like you always taught me, man, professionalism. And man, I want 2021, man, to be a year of that, man. And I'm serious about it. I've been working on it, down to even the text, to their troubleshooting approach. That wild maverick, like, oh, I've been doing this how I do it.
None of that.
Really? All right. So you got to recall what happened. Oh, all right, let me go with you. Show me what you did. Why you didn't do this? Oh, why you didn't do that? And by the time I'm done, they don't want the smoke. So you know what? Let's rearrange things. Let's do things correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a unit, you check temperature, infrared, KW thermocouple, pocket thermometer, but let's get temperature. If we're gonna check thermistors, let's put it in the water. Let's freeze, like let's do things right. Let's stop with the shenanigans and let's do things right.
You know who taught both of us about putting those thermistors in the slush water, right?
My OG, Durham. My
Absolutely.
OG, Durham
Absolutely.
Appliance.
Definitely.
Listen, I'm not there yet, David, and I don't think it happens overnight. I think it's gonna be a marathon of maybe 3 to 5 years. I ain't gonna lie. But David, you know what? When I'm done, because even look, mine's looks like this. The top portion is CSR, her or his roles,
Mm-hmm.
and all the processes for each of those roles. Then under that is the technicians. Then there's one for invoicing. Like there's all the steps,
Yeah.
and each person what it is written out down to the granular level.
Yep.
But I'm working on the technician one now too. Arrive at refrigerator. Did you do this? Not cooling. La, la,
That's a
la.
hard one, though. Right? That's the hardest
No,
one. I think.
no, it's not. You know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing and tell me
Tell
your
me.
thoughts. You remember those old Whirlpool service manuals back in the days? They were
Oh,
like
the paper.
90 pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, on service matters, they're all digital now, right?
Mm,
And,
nice.
and remember before when they used to say not cooling, and then it would say recommended actions? I'm going through a lot of those and compiling like a really good one for every possible scenario to give to the technician that even when he or she arrives, follow suit. David, if you want flexibility with me and my organization, you know how you're gonna get it? Bro, I don't care if you come in with a beard. I don't care if you have dreadlocks. I don't care whatever your situation is. I'm cool. I'm laid back, man. But when it comes to just this, we gotta do this the
Yeah.
right
No,
way. But
absolutely.
anything else, like yo, boss, my kid got basketball tomorrow, blah blah blah. What up? No problem. I'm cool with that. That's because when you say rigidness, I feel like in that there can't be room for compromise, bro. But for rigidness, I'll give you like the day off. You came in late, whatever. Like I'm rigid in that part. But for
Okay.
this business process, nah. In this system, nah.
Mm.
It has to be a monarchy. It has dictatorship.
Oh,
The
yeah.
only way it's gonna work.
It's not a democracy for sure.
No, no, sir. No, sir.
No.
Thoughts. Thoughts.
No, I think that's really good. I think that the technical process, I think, is one of the harder processes to document because there's so many variables. I mean, there's an infinite number of variables. So it's which is why it's so hard to find good technicians, because a technician needs to be able to deal with any one of those variables at any time. So to document that is a very majorly large process, I think, task to document diagnosis. I mean, I like what you're doing, though, to take something that's already established and sort of make it your own, and then you can fill in all those little details. I think that's a really good idea. But I think ultimately, you still at some point the diagnostic process, I don't think can be 100% documented. Like certain things can be documented, like ordering parts. You can document that down to 100.0%. The diagnostic process, I think you can get like 95% documented, but there's always that little bit that it's just out of nowhere. A mouse chewed this wire down here that's unrelated to this, so it sent the wrong voltage. Like this, it's just an infinite number of possibilities. So I think documenting the technical process is an excellent thing to do, but it doesn't. Technicians are not plug and play as the same way that, say, a warranty claims administrator is plug and play. There's only one way to do warranty claims, but diagnosing a problem, there's many, many, many ways to do it. So I think we can document it within reason, but I don't think we can get 100%. So I don't think, and I see what you're getting at, but I don't think we can think technicians, you can't eliminate that human process. You know what I mean? Like you got to be able to just think. And that's why it's so hard to find a good technician.
David, let me say one thing, bro. You know, I'm not the authority. You know, I learn a lot from you, bro. You are pivotal.
Tell me why I'm wrong. Cause I would love to document it.
No, I'm not saying you wrong. Not at all. In fact, I'm giving you your flowers while you are alive. I'm just saying that I don't want to come off like I know it. I don't.
No.
But this book has opened up because I audio book it a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot. And one thing he said, and this is gonna show you that you doing the answer that to you, what you just got finished saying without you even knowing it. And let me tell you how. David, when the system is in place, let's go with this scenario: dryer, not heating. And you have a beautiful flow chart. Dryer, not heating. Is it gas or electric? Yes, no. Electric. Is it getting 240? The 240 test, L1, neutral, L. Listen, when you have it all mapped out like that, right? What I've learned from the E-Myth, you, other mentors of mine, look at the scenario you painted to me about your guy, the IT guy, the guy that was doing, what was it, home audio or something?
He was from an internet service provider. He was a network engineer.
And David, look at me. What that guy know about inverters? What that guy know about pulse width? What that guy know about resettable thermal cutoffs? What he know about that stuff? Nothing. But David, you know what? With a little tutelage, people that have problem-solving skills organically, you give them that skeletal structure of, again, the Whirlpool manuals, dryer, not heating, and you click, you literally cut it out. You stick it on the paper, you scan it, and then you print it and put it in the file and put it in the van and give it to the tech. Let's wait, real quick. Here comes the recall. Yes, my dryer wasn't heating. No problem. We'll be out there tonight. This afternoon, 1 to 5. No problem. I got a place on my board where I write down all my technicians' recalls. Every Friday morning, 8:30 to 10:30, we do our recalls. And we go check ourselves, myself included.
I like that.
And we take whatever recall of the week. One day I'm gonna video it live on YouTube when I'm going through it. And every Friday, what we do is we go through every single, well, sometimes we don't have time, because one training will get good and it will be like a 1.5 hour training. But anyway, we go through it and we figure out what went wrong. And David, you know what? It always goes back to the process. A thermal overload got missed. A cut off or something stupid. We didn't check wire harness continuity. And David, again, to go back to what you said earlier, when we hire, especially me moving forward, I don't care how nice you think you are. I don't care if you think you're SEAL Team 6. I'm looking for people who are adaptable to the culture I'm trying to create, and they just have simple reason, and they can follow orders and have simple problem solving skills, because I'll give you the blueprint.
Yeah.
Just follow suit.
Absolutely.
Your thoughts to this or what, OG?
No, I think that's 100% correct. The only thing I would add to that is that it's still, even with a fully documented process, to a certain, for technicians, I mean, it still relies on a certain amount of innate ability in the person that you hire, because you can't take somebody who has no technical ability whatsoever. You give them that flow chart, even if you could document it 110%, there's certain people, you give them that information, they still can't do it.
Yeah.
For technicians, it's still, I think it's still, I guess that applies to everything, but it seems, I don't know, maybe it's all in my head, but it seems to me that the technician is the hardest person to find because there's a really specific type of person that excels at being a technician. I think, at least being a quality technician. So, but if you take that person and you give them the information you just said, then they can't lose. So I think it's
David, but
both of those things.
David, you know what? I also, I hate to say it, OG, I've done some more research and some soul searching in 2020. And I spoke to you about the HR situation.
Yeah.
Again, Bambi.com. I'm gonna put them in the link. I'm gonna do an interview with them and watch that, David. You're gonna love it. But David, processes, but then there's another one. And I'm not there yet. I haven't even began. It's too much. I don't have time for all this shit. But it's too much. But listen, there's another one that I'm way behind too. And that's the financial one. And David, that's when you start analyzing with your QuickBooks how much money you making, how much your parts is costing, how much gas you making, you're tracking your miles. And now there's that side. So David, look at me, big bro. I gotta deal with the e-mifrit. I gotta deal with process.
There's another book though.
David, you know why entrepreneurism, and you know why these there's a saying that says it costs to be, you know why it costs to be the boss? Because you doing all this extra shit while everybody's chilling, man.
See all this gray hair?
Well, you look great, man. That's the light. That's the light.
Yeah, it's the light. No, listen, on that, there's another book. Dylan Connor. I'm gonna shout out to Dylan Connor because he recommended this book to me. Perfect.
Shout out to Dylan Connor.
It's called, he's out in California. Called Profit First. Right?
Profit First.
Excellent book. I can't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but the name of the book is Profit First. But it lays out a system for setting up your financials and your bank accounts in a way to ensure that you draw profit out of your business instead of just putting it all back in and paying your bills first, and then you're left with nothing. It's I'm not really doing it justice, but there's another book you want to check out. A month ago, we set up our bank accounts in that way, and it already is working out. I'm looking at, so we got multiple bank accounts then, right? We got our deposit account, we got our sales tax account, a profit account, or income tax account. Every bit of money that comes into the business goes into the deposit account. Then we take that Long Island sales tax, 8.625%. 8.625% of every single deposit goes into the sales tax account. So when sales tax comes due, that money is there. We take a certain percentage of every deposit goes into the income tax account. When those estimated taxes are due, that money is there. Certain percentage of every deposit goes into that profit account. When we do our monthly profit distributions, that money is there. Everything else to pay the bills, it's all in the operating expense account. That's from that book, Profit First, which Dylan told me about. And, it's like a simple thing, and you probably do it automatically in your own personal finances, but I feel like.
Hell no. Hell no. We get all the checks, we go down to Wells Fargo and put it all into the business account. We pay the checks from that.
I'm telling you, read that book. It's
animal,
incredible.
Savagery. But David, let me. Whoa, David. I want to take this time to shout out Brother Rick, because he was the one who created the slogan for tmmacademics.com, which reads, "We give you the tools to succeed." That's the slogan for tmmacademics.com, which, by the way, if you need a shameless plug, if you need appliance repair training and you need help from the world's greatest instructors, absolutely. David Oliva, Richard Zilka, and Brother B, man, please go over to tmmacademics.com. Those three instructors are giving weekly courses. But David, I digress. Oh fuck, oh man, where was I? We was talking about something. Damn it. Oh, we're giving you the tools to succeed. You said earlier, you said, oh, I don't want to do that book injustice. David, here at TMM Appliance Network, we give you the tools to succeed. This is the perfect opportunity for you to do the book review, player. That's all it is. Ain't nothing. Just
All
hit
right.
the like, subscribe, and share button, and in the comment section say, David, do the review. We love to hear about it, David. And who better to narrate than you?
Perfect.
We
Now I
give
got
you the tools.
I got another job.
Okay, we're almost
Hey,
done here.
you want to talk
We're
about
almost done.
ASTI, right? You going to ASTI?
Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Asti, please go ahead. Tell me.
I mean,
Are you going this year?
yeah, I'm going. What is it? They're doing a mini one this year, right? It's
How many
July.
people are they letting in?
Huh? Oh, I don't know. It wasn't a lot. It's kind
How
of
many?
limited. So if you want to go, or get,
I think it's sold out, man. I think it was like
it wasn't a
150
lot. It
people.
was small. This is limited. It's only 2 days, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going. You going?
I don't know, man.
All right. Well, I'm sure.
Hey,
I
man. You've
guarantee
been.
you,
Hey,
at least
listen.
one person watching this right now is going. So if you're there,
Listen.
hit me up.
Listen. Listen. I'm sorry. You've been gone for a little while, player. We got some big things going on over here at
All right.
TMN Academics.
Good.
Do you know since you've been working on your operation and building it back up, which
Mhm.
thank God you did, man. That really brings me joy. But man, me and Rick been back here, man, front line, man, and for the
Good.
last 6 months, man, every weekend, man, we've been giving classes, weekly classes, uploading them in that on our Patreon, right?
Nice.
And bro, our membership has been growing, and bro, you know what? Now Rick and I, like next week, we're going to start looking at properties
Yeah.
because what we were listen to this. It didn't cost us a dime. Our Patreons, people who subscribe to us, we were able to take all of that and with nothing down, none of our own money, take that little bit and put it down. And now, guess what, bro? We have an actual brick and mortar place, man. And look,
Awesome.
you being one of the 3 instructors here, guess what? I want to go back and revisit a conversation you and I had one time. We were talking to another individual. Let's leave that individual nameless for tonight. Respectfully, that is. And it was about sub-zero training. And it was about trying to like, man, we just need the locator.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, David, it's gonna happen.
No, of course.
David, we're at the cusp of that. And David, we will finally have our brick and mortar place, hands-on, live. And you know what we was trying to, as far as you asking about ASTI and all that, I'm looking forward more to a TMM open house where
Nice.
guess what? We invite all of we invite our VIP friends and we make it public to the community, David. We're at that level now, David.
Listen, that's the best thing I've heard, and I am so happy that you guys did that. That's incredible.
And
That's
David,
amazing.
but you know what? It's not me. It's not Rick. It's our subscribers, man.
Oh
That
yeah.
believed in us, man. That followed us, man. That was there with us day one, man. And David, now the hands-on that we're gonna be given with our caliber of,
Mm-hmm.
guys like you in our cloth, like real and Richard, of course,
Absolutely.
real techs and professionalism. Man, the industry's moving in a good direction, man. I just wanted to share that with you, man.
If anybody's doing training, I'm happy that it's you and Rick because I know you guys are going to do top-notch stuff. And
Us.
us,
Don't think you out of
well, I
it.
can't put
Don't think you
myself
out of
into
it.
this after being out of it for a year. So
No,
I'm
no, no,
saying,
no, we don't care about that. We know what's going on, man. Rick knows what's going
but
on.
I'm just saying that you got that you because you and Rick did it. So you two, you put that thing together and you built that and you got a place, a building to
Yeah,
do that.
man.
That's incredible. And people are gonna flock in. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And we look forward to you coming down too, man. But we at that hour mark, man, and
Right, man.
man, I just wanna from the bottom of my heart, man, thank you. Again, I may go to ASTI. Let me call Anthony and see how many people is there. Maybe we go, maybe not. I don't know.
If you want to go, Anthony, get your ticket. He's the man to call.
Of course, you know, and he too is TMM alumni. I mean, he just don't know it yet, but we're gonna figure out a way to branch something out with him. Just don't tell him we said nothing. But David, man, you got anything you want to share before you go on, man?
No, man. Just you know what? This feels good. I'm glad we did this. I missed this. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, you back on top of the world, man. Don't tell me. RD Appliance out of Long Island, which is Long Island's #1, by the way. #1.
Let me just do this then. Anybody looking for a job on Long Island as a technician? I'm talking about experienced people. I need an experienced technician, 1 or 2 on Long Island, and I need a top-notch, really experienced technician up north of New York City, Westchester County, Fairfield County, Connecticut. If anybody here watching that is interested in that, give me a call. I'm sure Brandon.
How can they reach you?
Information down
what's your email? Go ahead and say your email now and put it in the description. But what's your email, brother?
David at rdapplianceservice.com.
One more time.
David at rdapplianceservice.com.
No problem. All right, man. And anything else, man?
No, this is great. I'm happy.
Hey, man, we glad that you back, man. So you got a couple assignments. We expected that book review. I believe you alone. David, man, I love you. Thanks for being on the show. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube's premier Off the Clock Appliance Repair Talk for Off the Clock Appliance Repair Techs. I'm your host with the most, Brother B and Brother D. And you can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And we appreciate that. With all that said, love, peace, and harmony. David, I love you, bro. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, man. I'll see you.
All right, peace, bro.
Later.